Welcome to Write, Publish, Connect. This is a video series by Aaxel Author Services. My name is Natalie, and with me today I have Alexa, the founder of Aaxel Author Services. Alexa, it is so good to see you again.
It's great to see you, Natalie.
So we have a lot of things we want to talk about, but really today what we want to determine is we want to help our viewers figure out what all this publishing is about and how a third-party publisher like yourself, or a publishing partner, I should say, can help somebody in this process. Fair enough?
Fair enough, absolutely. We want to look at the different options that are open.
Yeah. So I want to jump right in because one of the things we were talking about before we started, the recording was this idea of a hybrid partner, and then there's a publishing partner. And for you, there's a clear difference, and people really need to know what it is. So tell us about that.
Sure, absolutely. So first of all, I'll preface everything by saying that I'm assuming that when we're talking about this topic, we're talking to authors who have decided to go past the traditional publishing approach, which is get an agent, get a traditional publishing contract. So really, we have a couple of options open. There is something that we're seeing more and more of called a hybrid publisher. And there's this perception, the word publisher in general, I find, is just a word that has become very commonplace. Everyone is a hybrid, everyone's a publisher. And I think it's so important as an indie author that you really inform yourself so that you know who is a publisher and who is a publishing partner. And so a hybrid publisher, in my opinion, and pretty much what the industry generally agrees with, a hybrid publisher is a partner who is contributing in some way to your book project. This could be a financial contribution, whether they are contributing 50% of the costs, the whole cost, or if they're not contributing financially, they're bringing something else to the table that could really make a difference in the success of your book. This could be, they could have traditional book distribution, which is a huge plus and something that frankly is very hard for an indie author to access. So if there's something like this on the table, that is certainly a valuable contribution, and that person is indeed, or that party would be a hybrid publisher. In the best definition, hybrid publishing is giving the author still certain creative liberties and creative freedoms, but with that real support, financial or otherwise, by a publisher.
And has your team contributed to that type of hybrid option?
Aaxel Author Services, we are in the works in developing a hybrid publishing entity, but Aaxel Author Services really falls under the definition of the main topic of the day, which is the publishing partner. And what does that mean? We are a partner that partners up with authors looking for all the perks and the benefits of independent publishing without doing it alone. Because obviously, if you decide to publish on your own, you can do everything on your own. And there's no doubt that that is true. There's just an enormous amount of work that goes into that. Finding the right cover designer and the formatter and learning all the steps about self-publishing. If you partner with a publishing partner like Aaxel Author Services, you're saving yourself hours and hours of work. You're accessing really, really great top talent that we have worked with in the past. And so you're just getting that full professional support while still retaining control of the publishing process.
So what comes to mind right away is, have you met some authors who tried to do it on their own, right? They tried to do all the things and they showed up at your doorstep.
Yes. Yeah.
And what did that look like? Like what were the pieces you had to sort of pick up off the doorstep and say, okay, it's okay, we got this?
Well, it's funny because just a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to a gentleman. He had gotten published. He called, he referred to the publishing partner as a publisher, but he really ended up contributing financially to the publishing venture all on his own, but they folded and they pretty much just disappeared. And so he didn't have anything. He didn't have anything. He had to start from scratch. he's stressed. I want to get my book back up. I'm trying to call their numbers. No one's answering, et cetera, et cetera. So yes, there are definitely those instances where, or I've had people who have worked directly with a cover designer and they've been ghosted. I mean, that's a reality too. This is not to say that all cover designers will ghost you, of course not. But when you're working with people across the world, sometimes you don't even know where they are located. That's just the nature of the platform on which we do business now, called the internet. It's entirely feasible that somebody all of a sudden stops answering your emails for whatever reason, and you don't have your cover, or you've got half the cover. And so in those instances, yeah, we just kind of swoop in and it's all right, we've got you. We'll either continue with this concept or we'll do something else. But yes, the coming to the rescue thing is definitely something we see.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people that are grateful for that. So somebody who's looking to publish with a partner like yourself and the team, what are maybe 1 or 2 steps that they would do to get in touch with you or to start the process? What would that look like?
Sure. So, I mean, essentially, if they want to get in touch with us, we have a variety of ways of communicating with us on our website. We've got contact forms. We actually have a quote calculator. So if they want to go in and get an idea on price, because we are a fee for service business model. So what does that mean? It means you come to us and you say, hey, I need my book published, or I already have my cover, but I need this little part. We're very flexible in how we work with authors, but we have that quote calculator that allows them to see the different, what that investment would look like. We have a mailing list. They can call us, they can email us directly. And then we always start with a discovery call, because I think it's really important to get a feel for the author. And this is something that's very important for authors to bear in mind, is that this is not a project that lasts a couple of days. We have authors with whom we've worked for months. I mean, really, like, it all depends on, I mean, every author's different, but if you're going to be working with someone for months, you want to make sure they're the right fit. So it's not just about making sure, obviously, you want to check referrals and stuff, but you want to work with someone who can be almost as excited about your book as you are,
Yeah.
You want to have that energy, you want to have that synergy. And so we like getting on calls with people because we want to learn more about them, and we want to give them the opportunity to sense our energy and to sense if it's the right fit for them.
And really, ultimately, somebody who's taking on a project like this wants to do their due diligence, meet people in the industry, and they want to find the person that jives with them. I know for myself, I published 2 books of poetry. I worked with a graphic artist that was in the industry. So that was really great to have her shepherd me in the process. I didn't know you at the time. But it was interesting to have, to see all the pieces, like almost like a puzzle that, came together. So
Right.
they meet you and the team, and they go through the process. So you say fee for service. Does that mean at the end, like, is there a royalty that comes out of this for the publishing partner, or is it really, I hate to say cut and dry, but is it, sort of like, okay, we're done?
Well, so this is a very important question, and it's a very, very important question, because that also brings back the whole publisher versus publishing partner. We at Aaxel Author Services, we are strictly a fee for service. What does this mean? You hire us to do certain things. We earn money based on those services rendered, but you remain the publisher. And what does that mean? That means you retain full control over everything. So any accounts that we open on your behalf, because we obviously leverage publishing platforms like Kindle Direct Publishing, Ingram Spark, Draft to Digital, we don't own these accounts. Every single author we work with owns their own accounts. What does that mean? Well, it means that you are the publisher. If you ever decide one day, a year from now, I kind of want to put this book on hold for whatever reason, I want to unpublish it or whatever, that's okay. You can go in and do all of that. You will always have access to those accounts. We do not claim any royalties at any point in the process. any royalties you earn from sales are yours and yours alone, and we don't touch any of that. The whole creative process of publishing, you remain the final decision maker. We really pride ourselves on a highly customized creative process. So cover design alone is very intricate. We get on calls, we have you fill out questionnaires, and then from there we come up with different concepts, and you pick the direction. We're here to advise, but ultimately we want you to feel like the book that you end up with is the book that really feels genuinely yours. We're not telling you, no, this is the cover that's going to sell more copies, so that's the one you're getting. It's all about customization. And so it's very important when you're evaluating publishing partners like ourselves, you just want to make sure that you really are the publisher. And if your publishing partner owns any part of that process, is there a reason for that? So if they are ultimately publishing your book, are they giving you something in return for that? And they should. And just as a side note, very often certain publishing partners, they'll make a big deal out of certain features in their contracts that sound impressive and sound highly valuable when really they aren't. For instance, I've seen, I've had authors come to me, well, this company says that I'll be included in their online bookstore. Maybe that's great. If there are many viewers or visitors to that bookstore every month, great. If no one's going to that bookstore, who cares? Another common thing I'll see is oh, well, this publishing partner, this company is giving me access to thousands of retailers worldwide, in terms of distribution where their book will be available. And that certainly sounds very attractive, but are they just talking about the distribution offered by Ingram Spark? Because Ingram Spark does that. They make your book available to all sorts of retailers worldwide. Now, there's nothing wrong with mentioning this. We certainly do it all the time. We tell authors all the time, your book will be available for purchase around the world. But we don't make it sound bigger than it is. And we certainly don't charge a premium. So if you have the impression that you're being charged a premium for that, well, then that should be a red flag.
Okay. So for me, what I'm getting, you need to find a partner that definitely, is transparent, is accountable, professional, and above all, for me, authentic. So what can you leave your last words of wisdom for those people who are thinking, wow, I want to write a book. I have so much I want to share. What can we impart them with?
So absolutely, you want someone who's professional. You want someone who's transparent. I mean, we at Aaxel Author Services, obviously, we feel those two things are really important. But I will say that it's probably just as important is feeling like you have the partner who really gets you. And if you're talking to someone, a publishing partner, and it just doesn't feel like it's the right fit, then don't force it, because it probably won't be the right fit. And I feel much better working with authors who, we just jive and that chemistry just takes off and it feels like the sky's the limit and you feel like there are boundless opportunities. That's how you want to start your publishing journey, because again, it can last a while. This isn't just going to the store and, I don't know, picking up a pair of pants or whatever. Like, this can last a while. So you might as well be in it with someone who really feels like a partner. So it's not just about professionalism. It's really about enjoying all the benefits of a true partnership.
I love it. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. And one thing that's super important to remember, that at Aaxel Author Services, we won't let you publish crap. Right?
That's exactly right, Natalie. And if you have any interest and if you want to continue the conversation with us, we're always happy to hear from authors. You can visit our website, www.aaxelauthorservices.com, send us an email, info@aaxelauthorservices.com, and we're ready to talk more about your book.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Whatever you choose to do, have an incredible day. Take care, Alexa. See you soon. Bye now.
Thank you, Natalie.